I could change my field of view, maybe I'd end up with you. I can't recall things I said, so I'm blaming you instead, 'cause that's the last thing I can do. I know that I'll make you believe, I know that I can't let you leave me alone, me alone. I know that my timing's not right, but I can be sure that tonight you're not alone, you're not alone.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Glad to see all of you here. Pop those off. Glad to see you all here. Sorry about last week. I was busy all week, out of town for a wedding, and it's glad to be back. So, the good thing about being gone, especially right now, is the market literally didn't do anything for almost 6 days, especially over the weekend. I mean, we had a little bit of a pump yesterday, but it's already retraced. Lots of boring movement over the last 6 months. I mean, honestly, just like that Green Day song, you could have woken up when September ended, because now we're starting to get some structure breaks, kind of, now that October's coming around. October's generally a better month for Bitcoin, but we'll have to wait and see. Steven, what's up, my man? Thanks for leaving so much on the table for us. Oh, anytime. I'm more than happy to help you guys. Any point. Real quick, couple of announcements. Some of you guys took note of my tweet a month or two ago. I mentioned that I was going to do the trading school again, starting in October. Unfortunately, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I'm going to be gone for most of October. Like, not most of October, but here and there in October. And if we're going to start the trading school, and it's usually about a 4-month session, right? There's 16 to 20 weeks, 4 to 5 month session, 16, 20 weeks, twice a week. But I'm always in Discord answering questions, going over stuff, helping you with anything you have. So it's pretty much an everyday thing. I want to give you guys my full attention. So I'm looking at starting that. Excuse me one moment. I'm looking at starting that in November. So come November, we'll start it. I'll put full details out there probably later this week or next week. See if there are enough people interested. Yeah, we went up 1%. Yeah, pretty crazy. Like, literally nothing happened. So if you guys are interested or you have any questions, DM me. More than happy to answer for you. The other announcement, Blowfin and the trading bot. You guys know about the trading bot. I'll open it up real quickly. So this is the trading bot this year. Okay. This year it's up 122%. First red month of the year was September, minus 4%. Actually, some of that was due to an error on our end, on the bot's end. So we cleaned that up. Now we're not looking at most of this. I think it was like a 2% trading error. Either way, I posted this link. It's actually in one of the pinned tweets on my profile. So you can go and see this data whenever you'd like. You can see wins, loss, whatever. You can even look at the trading history for every trade that's been placed. Hasn't really been anything this month. You cannot see open trades. That sucks. But currently it's available on BitGet. I know a lot of you can't use it on BitGet, so we're opening that up on Blowfin. And then by the end of the year, Coincatch should be ready. For those of you that like using Coincatch, we will be running it over there on Coincatch as well. So hopefully everything goes smooth in their setup. Again, this has a lot to do with the exchange. We're trying to get smart copy up and running on Coincatch. Blowfin has it. We're trying to fine tune it. So once everything's ready, it should be good to go. Again, Blowfin should be ready this month. I believe in the next week or so, but I have to double check. I've been out of town for the last, like 7 days, so I've been kind of out of the loop. I'm finally catching up with everybody. What's the cost of the trading school? I think it's $150 a month. It's listed on Patreon. I have not increased it. I've not decreased it. Again, a big part of that is because I'm giving you a lot of my time. It's a session on Tuesday and Thursday, plus every single moment of the week you can ask me any questions. You also get all the access to all the videos, so you can download them. You could technically share them with your friends. I'm not keeping track. If you want to be an asshole and do that, go ahead. But yeah, you can save them. You can always have them. You do the math, and I think it's like 20 hours a month of my time just doing the videos, just doing live sessions with all of you, answering questions. So to me, 20 hours for $150, you're getting a pretty good deal. I don't charge that much. I know a lot of people that charge like $1,000 a month, and I would never do that. Do I believe my system is good? Yes, but do I believe that it should be accessible to everybody? Yes, but at the same time, I still have to pay myself for my time. Is it basically about Bitcoin? It's actually about just trading in general. So not necessarily just about Bitcoin. It's about risk management. It's about, well, I guess I'll give you an example of risk management. It's about the mathematics of risk management, how that should apply to your trading. It's about locating trading setups. It's about confluence across multiple facets of different, I guess, market movers like S&P, the dollar, and Bitcoin, how all of those move together. And if the dollar's, just a basic example, the dollar moving up means Bitcoin and the S&P should go down. I know a lot of you know all this stuff. There is a lot of basic stuff, but there's also a lot of intermediate, maybe advanced stuff. I talk about how price action works, how volume validates moves, why supply and demand is important in crypto and in the stock market. So it really covers everything about trading. I wouldn't say everything about trading, but it gives you a solid base. I'd say on a level of 1 to 10, it's probably about a 4 or 5. For some people, it's brushing up on stuff, but you're still going to learn new things regardless. There's an endless supply of knowledge in the trading space, but I try and narrow basically my whole system down, teach you how to use my system, teach you how I trade. Because for a lot of you, you work 9 to 5s. I'm a swing trader, right? I'm not trading every day. I'm not day trading every day. I think day trading is a gigantic waste of time. Plus, we have a trading bot that will do it for us. So not only can you learn how to swing trade, you can use this bot for free. You don't even have to join the trading school. You can use the bot for free now. So just a little bit of information. I'll post a bunch more again later this week, but I'm looking to start in November, start of November, because the only holiday I have is Thanksgiving. I don't believe I'll be taking any other time off, especially through like December, January, February. I might have a trip in February, but again, that's a solid 4 months of not leaving. All right, guys, I'm going to get into the analysis. It's Monday. Market hasn't done anything. I do appreciate all 400 of you being here. I know the market's been extremely boring. I know it's hard for me to make it exciting, but I appreciate you being here. So S&P, I was saying this earlier today, and this is another thing I do. I provide a private analysis. We go over pretty much everything that's listed here on the right in depth. And I was talking about this earlier this morning. All the equity charts have bearish divergences at this moment, right? We have higher highs, lower highs, but I don't believe that it's going to cause a macro downward move. I think what we're looking at here is just more consolidation. To give you a better example, take a look at the NASDAQ, right? We're still in this kind of bull flag. Yes, we have these divergence looking things, but a big part of consolidation is actually to build volatility, create bullish divergences. And creating volatility, you can tell by the Bollinger Bands. We're at the top of the band. We need to allow these to come back together to squeeze, right? We need to bring these bands together to squeeze through price consolidating so that we can continue higher, especially when we're kind of in uncharted territory, right? Every single equity, I guess every stock, S&P, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, is at all-time highs or breaking all-time highs. So I still think we have plenty of time to go up. I still think we're going to see the presidential kind of, I don't want to say relief rally, but presidential rally in the stock market. I think we're going to take the next probably month and just chill out. Consolidate to continue. What's up, Colin? How you doing? Bearish divergence, I can concur with the consolidation. Yeah, I mean, just because you have divergence doesn't necessarily mean that you're just going to crash or like see a bunch of red. What it could mean is that we just move sideways, right? Create a bullish divergence, create higher lows, and then continue moving higher from there. So, yeah, probably going to see some pain in Bitcoin as a result from this. And why do we say that? Because we find confluence across everything, right? If the S&P is showing bearish and we don't really have a directional guess on where Bitcoin's going to go, it's likely going to follow the S&P. And frankly, it has been following the S&P for the last 2 years. So, I mean, it's very easy to tell. You open this up, we've been essentially doing the exact same thing. However, the S&P is consolidating here. Bitcoin is still technically consolidating. It's going down where the S&P is going up, but still technically consolidating. This whole block of periods been very, very boring. So let's move on. The dollar bounced pretty hard. I won't lie, I did not expect that. Like, I'll be the first to tell you I did not expect this ginormous bounce. Primarily because now I see the divergences and I get where people are coming from. But personally, looking at the daily, I figured that this was just a bear flag. Right? We were just bear flagging, waiting to dump, waiting to go down. I don't really see a descending wedge here. I know some people are going to say, oh, it was a wedge. Well, my problem is you have resistance here, and you kind of have this like kind of horizontal, kind of diagonal support. Maybe we go like a tiny bit lower inside of like the macro support, of course. But knowing me, I just figured we just dump. And that's not to say that we can't quite literally do this. Right? We've seen that happen before. But I'm still not necessarily bullish on the dollar. Another point of view I had, if you open up the dollars weekly and do this is pretty crazy. So the dollar, guys, the dollar for the last 2 years hasn't done anything. Like literally nothing. 2 years. It's moved sideways. 100, 107. It's done nothing. You do this. Look what Bitcoin and the S&P have done. Oh, shit. Hold on. I have to do the new price scale. I don't think I want auto. There we go. So what you do is you do this. There we go. So during this whole entire period of sideways for the dollar, not only did Bitcoin bottom, right? Bitcoin bottoms, shoots up. This entire time the dollar's moving sideways. Just look at the squiggle moving forward. Actually, we'll do this just to make it more precise. Look at this moving forward. The dollar's done nothing. S&P and Bitcoin have done, well, everything. Right? This is a very important opinion to have because on a macro scale, okay, yes, the dollar's going up. The dollar could go up to 105, possibly 107. But look every time. Now, has Bitcoin dumped when the dollar is intra-pumped? Yes. But overall, this sideways movement is allowing other markets to continue higher. So I have this kind of other opinion. Either we dump and markets continue higher, or we continue to range and markets still continue higher. Now, it'll be more of a grindier pump if we range, but do you see what's been happening over the last 2 years? Why would we stop following that trend? Market needs to take a quick breath before the next smash to 100K. I would agree, but we've been breathing for like the last 7 months. It's been a long consolidation. This is the longest and worst consolidation I've ever seen. People are getting chopped up left and right. And not to mention, this has been a very, very difficult area to trade. I know there are some people doing really well, and props to them. I am unfortunately not one of those people. I wish I was. But, you know, some people do really well in ranges, and that's good for them. So real quick, I just want to show Total 1 and just kind of show you that nothing has changed. Right? Everyone gets on Twitter every day and freaks out and tells you, oh, this, oh, that. We're going to go to 0. We're going to go to 100. Nothing has changed. Look, the y-axis will automatically read up to the screen. Yeah, I knew that. I'm just sometimes I forget. But it's pretty wild. Nothing has changed. Like, seriously, go back, like Twitter, go back like 20 days during this period. We've had, oh my God, we're going to 0. Oh my God, we're going to 100K. Oh my God, we're going to do this. Oh my God, we're going to do that. And look what's happened. We've done nothing. We have not broken down, and we have not broken up. Now, if we do go down to, I guess, what is this, 1.9, we would make a bullish divergence. But I'm just kind of zooming out here to show you guys that we have not changed a damn thing. So until we do, I'm not saying it's not worth to watch this, like be involved with the market and trade, but there's not really been anything to trade, and there's really nothing to get excited about yet. Even with tether dominance, I mean, you can see it here. We have not broken down. We have not really changed. We've been in this kind of sideways, boring, kind of consolidative uptrend that, I'll be honest, I still think this is going to go down. But we have to break structure, right? We have to break down really through 5.28% and make a change. So hopefully it happens soon, but let's look at some lower time frames. Now that we're getting into Tether and Bitcoin, talk about what my expectations are. I've made a couple tweets, so hopefully it's been a little clear. And I do apologize I wasn't as active last week. I was just busy. I was out of town with friends. I'm also a part of the wedding, so I had to do a bunch of wedding stuff. But right now, I know for some of you, people are going to say this is a head and shoulders. I don't believe so. Could it be? Maybe. I just don't like how this right, or I guess this left shoulder is so high. I don't know. We could be looking at head and shoulders. The more I look at it, the more I like it, but still a little sketchy. Either way, to confirm it, you have to break down through 5.26. Which, if we did, right? We broke through this. We broke through a horizontal support and a diagonal support, which would be a macro market change. Waiting on December for a decisive uptrend. Any price for then is a gift on stocks and crypto. Yeah, if we go lower, per se. Best wishes to the new couple. I'm sure they're having a great time. They actually live in Charleston, South Carolina. And luckily, they went on their honeymoon before that hurricane comes up the coast. So, yeah, I don't really see much on Tether that makes me very confident about Bitcoin going up yet. Even on I guess on the 4 hour, you do have you don't have bearish divergences yet. You're making lower lows. RSI is making lower lows. You don't have a reversal pattern yet. So, yeah, this could go lower. It could come up and make another high. We're kind of in that undecisive, you don't really know what's going to happen. And I know for some of you, you're going to be like, oh, just draw a diagonal. That doesn't really work that way. Plus, diagonals are very unreliable. Let's move to Bitcoin, see if we get anything better. So firstly, I do want to zoom out on the weekly. It's Monday. We have a new weekly candle. And just say straight up again, guys, we have not done anything. We have not changed anything. We're still in this kind of downtrend, crappy. Just not fun. It's just not fun. Straight up. So the weekly hasn't changed. What about the daily? So here's my issues with the daily. One, we attempted to break a macro resistance, right? We attempted to break out. 64K, right? 65K, we'll say. 65K is a big pivot point. Staying above it, obviously very macro bullish. Getting above it again, right? That'd be a macro change in structure. Now we have higher highs and higher lows. So we're starting a new uptrend. But for now, we had a deviation, breakdown, retest. In my opinion, this is bearish. I'm looking on your 57K to make a buy. So my 57K price target, although this is why I don't like price targets, because this can change at any point. My 57K price target's more just saying, hey, we need to range somewhere to continue higher. I don't think that this is a healthy uptrend. I think that we're just retesting resistance to drop back down, whether that be 60K, whether that be 57, 58K, or whether it be 55K. Because there are interim support and resistances in this entire area. So for me, yes, I'm saying 55 to 57K, but realistically, as long as we get some type of range, like if we got something like this, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I would long this all day. However, if get something like this and it just turns into more crappy consolidation to go lower, than no. But you can clearly see we're retesting. We have low volume. The candle is mostly wick at this point. It doesn't look very strong or bullish. We also pumped on a Sunday night. Like, I would never trust a Sunday move in my ever. I don't know if you can consider this divergence. I have a, because you do have like lower highs here and slightly higher highs. I mean, again, my thought for now is the daily says breakdown, retest, continuation. See if the 1 hour has anything. So yeah, very clear divergences on the 1 hour. But are we now consolidating to try and break it again? I don't know. I don't have a clear read, and this is kind of my teaching lesson to you guys. If you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Because there are plenty of traders in this space, and they'll just go ahead and do whatever the hell they want or think. And they'll tell you, like, hey, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. I'll be honest with you, I don't have a clear read right now. I'm not going to be doing anything. Sunday night tricks, yeah. I mean, seriously, like, the best advice I can give is just don't do anything if you don't know what to, like, I know that sounds basic. Don't do anything if you don't know what to do, but I don't have a clear read. I mean, yes, I'm seeing bearishness, but I don't have a setup. Plus, we're holding. Plus, now we are technically forming bullish divergences on the 1 hour. So that's good. But the 4 hour and higher is very unclear. Do news-based pumps, dumps typically retrace to the point where it was before the news release? Usually, yes. I would say 8 out of 10 times, yes. What if there's no more 60K and it's a higher low? Then that's fine. That's perfectly fine with me. I have no problem with that. I think a lot of people think that, or at least forget that, a lot of us have bought spot below 30K, and I would more than love to see it continue to grow in value. Trading wise, like on the swing trading end, I don't see an area to take a trade. Like to take a long here, no, we're at resistance, right? This is resistance, we're at it. I'm not going to long that. Plus, I don't have a clear read. The divergence view is wicked. Yeah, it's a little wild. But I do have some good news for all of you. And I'm going to look at a couple more charts and call it a day. But I do have one good sign. So I had some fears. And I know you guys are going to take this the wrong way at first. I had some fears that alt season was going to start. And for some of you, you're like, I wouldn't mind alt season starting. Well, here's the problem with alt season. Alt season is the end of the bull run. And we hardly have had any money dump into this market. Bitcoin's not even above all-time highs. There's no money to pump altcoins. So if they do pump, it's going to be very lackluster. It's going to be very few and far between. Like maybe 10 to 20% of the alt market will actually do anything. So for me, I was a little worried. We had a left shoulder ahead, and it was looking like we were trying to form a right shoulder for head and shoulders. Well, last week's upward move here completely negated that reversal pattern. This is very, very good. It means we're not going to have an alt season right away. That means that more liquidity is likely going to pour into Bitcoin as Bitcoin dominance is going higher, staying higher, and looking to continue. Right? The more money that pours into Bitcoin, the more money will pour into alts after Bitcoin's done. I know the risk to the downside tells me that I should be lowering my buy orders on alt longs, but in terms of Bitcoin longs, I don't have much in the way of heavier buys until 54K. Light orders near 57, 58, very light orders in the 60 to 60, almost 61K. Agreed, want Bitcoin to 120K before any serious talk of alt season. Yes. Yes, and if that means that your altcoins that you bought 2 years ago still underperform, like Ethereum's a great example, you just got to be a little patient. Right? We need Bitcoin dominance way up before alt season. Yes. And this is a good sign. This is great that we're not getting this head and shoulders. Right? This means that Bitcoin's still in control. And for those of you that are like, oh, Bitcoin dominance going up is bad for this market. Well, let me show you something. You pull this up. Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance have been moving in tandem for the last 2 years. Yes, I know Bitcoin's kind of moving down here as Bitcoin dominance is moving up, but this is all consolidation regardless. And if Bitcoin dominance breaks out, I would expect Bitcoin to also break out. as once again, Bitcoin needs to absorb all of the new money first, so then it can transfer into alts. That's how you get a major alt season, by the way. So, all right, I'm not going to look at Ethereum today just because it's boring. Nothing has happened. I looked at it this morning. But let's look at Tau. I've been tweeting about Tau for the last year. My position is almost a year old. For those of you that don't know, I bought Tau back in November when it was between $100 and $120. This is when I bought. This is when I started. This is when I bought. This is when I started tweeting about it. I ended up buying a little bit more around here. And frankly, it was actually around this time period. So a lot of my orders are up. Some of my orders are, all of my orders are up, but some of them are up more than others. Great. So you might ask, what is this giant red candle? And a lot of that has to do with divergence, right? You're making higher highs. You're creating lower highs. This is likely a reach. People are going to take profits, likely consolidate before continue moving higher. Guys, we just also had a... let me clean this up. We also just had a... quite literally a 320% move higher. So, a little bit of relief. That's a good thing. We need that. We want that. Without relief, you can't continue higher. What's up, Anon Crypto Agent 2.0? How you doing? And to all of you that just joined, I normally stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday around 5 p.m. Eastern, so around the same time. Although, unfortunately, the next couple weeks I'm going to be a little spotty. I'm actually going to be out of town this Friday, so no live stream, but I will be here on Wednesday. About 18 billion in Bitcoin ETF. How much will transfer to alts? Eventually, I don't want to say eventually all of it, but a lot of it. That's, guys, for those of you that don't, I can't really give you an exact number, but you should really look up the liquidity cycle of Bitcoin into Ethereum, then into, we'll just put large cap alts, small cap alts, then $1, then back into Bitcoin. And this is what that's the bear market. Actually, I'd argue part of this too. That's kind of what starts the bear market. So right now we're seeing this, right? Money's going into Bitcoin, right? Money's going into Bitcoin. We're going to see that for a while. Hopefully, right? Bitcoin dominance doesn't look like it's getting weaker. So the more money that pours into Bitcoin, the more money will go into Ethereum. The more money will go into alts, into other alts, back into the dollar. So that's why it's so important that money continues to pour into Bitcoin and not just start an alt season right away. Because if we start an alt season right away, then all that money is going to turn to the dollar and Bitcoin's not going to do anything. Now, there are like little mini liquidity cycles in between the bull and bear market, but that's the general rule. What's your take on credible crypto's opinion that we will dump below 50K by November? I'll be honest, I don't even know who that is. I think I've seen some of his stuff, but I don't know how accurate he is. I don't know anything about him. And I don't know what his claims are to make those claims. Quite frankly, the stock market is at all-time highs. Eventually, that money will start to pour into crypto. There's over $6 trillion in sideline capital at the moment. Investors are going to need to put their money in places. So, I don't know. I've given plenty of response, plenty of reasoning for why I believe we are still going to get a bull market. We are not in a bull market currently, for crypto at least. For stocks, yes. A lot of it's been due to sideline capital. I've been saying that for the last 2 years. It is not going to be a normal bull run. It's going to be led by sideline capital. The economy is going to look like shit. People are going to be bearish. It's going to come out of nowhere. Then we'll likely get some kind of financial reset. But claiming to go below 50K, look, maybe it'll happen. I don't want to discredit the guy. But I need to see like more than just lines on a chart. because that's a macro move. I mean, quite literally. And look, I don't want to doubt this claim, but yes, could this be a giant area of distribution? Potentially. But I don't really see any signs of distribution here. I'm going to be honest with you. Here, we saw them. Here, we saw them. If you need me to go over them, I will very quickly. Here, on the daily and on the weekly, you had bearish reversal patterns. You had this giant ascending wedge. You also had this giant head and shoulders. You also had volume going down as price was going up on the last leg of that kind of bull run. Here, I'll be honest with you, this whole move, I think, was fabricated by FTX. You had extremely low volume the whole time. You had giant bearish divergences here on the daily and weekly. I think a lot of this was because of FTX. I mean, they literally got caught doing it. So, quite literally due to FTX. There were signs and signals everywhere. Before I made my Twitter account, we had the Discord, and we were bearish here. We were selling here. We were not buying up here. Now, were we longing and shorting up here? Yes, right? We were trading up in that area because it's very volatile. There were trade setups. But we weren't like looking for macro positions at this area. We were actually quite literally selling our spot. So here I don't really see any of that. Yes, there's like moves in between that could be dictated as bearish and bullish, whatever. But I don't really see any signs of like distribution per se. He's on YouTube as well. I do think he's a valid idea, but I'm not sure of the probabilities. I'd rather be long already in case we don't with a lot of stack to add my longs to add serious dry power in the 38 to 46K region if I have to, but I'd rather not go through the same stress as that. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just not on the same page. I'm sure he's a good analyst, but you always have to think for yourself. And even when I'm telling you guys stuff, right? I always say this. Even when I'm telling you guys stuff, I'm not right all the time. I'm not a crystal ball holding know-it-all, right? I don't know everything. I wish I did, but I don't. And my job is to give you a level-headed, unbiased view that, yes, it could very well be wrong. So you kind of have to take what I'm saying, maybe what Credible is saying, and apply it to yourself. And if that's, hey, maybe I buy less, right, to keep myself safe just in case we go lower, then that's just what you do. So I think you have a great approach, right? I think your approach is good. You're not trying to like give yourself the overexposure. I'm just adding on to that. I think your approach is actually very good. So at the end of the day, like you have to make your own decision and say, okay, am I willing to risk this or take the risk of XYZ happening? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, guys. Last couple things. Thank you all for being here. There's 800 of you here. Really appreciate it. Just for those of you that missed the earlier announcement, I am going to do the trading classes once again in November. They'll run probably until March. So it's twice a week, every Tuesday, Thursday. There's a live session, but the live session is recorded and posted for you. You'll have access to basically the most private section of my Discord if you have any questions or you need, if you need to like set up a one-on-one for me to like show you how something works or show you examples or talk you or walk you through something, I'm more than willing to do that. That's kind of part of the whole trading student deal. If you need some information on it, it's on Patreon. But there's going to be some stuff that I'm removing and some stuff that I'm adding. So far, it should be 20 weeks long. It says it's 16 weeks on Patreon. I'm adding 4 more weeks. I wanted to add some other stuff I've learned over the last couple years. But yeah, that should be good to go in November. Wintertime charts will go nuclear. I hope so. Last question. Do you think meme coins are going to outperform everything in this bull run? They always do. They always do because they're low cap and money pours into them, and usually when there's hype. Steven, we appreciate you. Thank God for what you're doing. Anytime, my man. I'm glad I can help you guys. With all that said, guys, I'm going to go make dinner. I'm hungry. It's 6 o'clock. So, as always, be patient, use risk management, and good luck trading.